Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Yarns with Andy. Today I've got Rafael Caso from Live Well, Build Well. And we're going to be exploring all about mental fitness. I'd say that again. It's not mental well-being. We're going to explore mental fitness. Welcome, Raf.
Oh, hi there, Andy. Thank you so much for having me here today. What a surprise it was when you reached out and you asked me to come along today. I'm so grateful to be here.
No, mate. No. Thank you so much for making the time to be here. And I think we've had this conversation as well where, I've myself gone through a mental health journey. So I'm actually quite excited to explore what you were doing and how you fit into space in construction and all the amazing things that you're doing in the construction space with mental fitness, right?
Right.
So this is something I'm really passionate about myself.
Unreal.
Yeah. This is like, it's very, very close to the chest here, this one.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, so I'm quite excited for this one. So let's get into it, right? So tell us a little bit about yourself.
About myself. So my background is quite varied.
Yep.
I think we were chatting a little bit earlier, and I come from a background of media in business development, and more recently in health and safety in the construction sector. And listening to lots of conversations in the health and safety sector, in the construction sector, led me to exploring very positive messaging to the prevention of illness. And ultimately,
so you said prevention of illness, right?
Correct.
Being the key word, prevention of illness.
That's
right. Okay, interesting.
So I did a lot of research. I was doing a very amateur podcast, not one as polished as this.
No, mate, it's not polished. The credit goes to the attention seekers. I just show up like a guest and leave like a guest, So anyways,
That's right. And it caught the attention of some of a program that was about to start up in the prevention of mental illness. And that's how I've ended up here today leading the program. I'm the program lead for the Live Well, Build Well program.
So tell us a bit more about what Live Well, Build Well does.
Yeah, certainly.
For the industry, in specific, in construction industry.
Absolutely. So the Live Well, Build Well program, it's a mental health program. But what makes the program different, Andy, the most important thing that it does differently is that it's a strengths-based program for mental health. Strengths-based. So what that means is that we don't really focus on crisis and illness. While that's very important, and that message to suicide awareness, that's a very important message. But we complement that message. We talk to mental health with more of a strength-based approach. We use the term.
What does that mean?
Mental fitness.
Yeah, mental fitness. I get that.
We use that term.
You said strength-based approach.
Correct.
What does that mean?
Yeah, certainly. So if you think about your physical fitness, we want people to think of themselves, or when it comes to the mental health, we want people to think of that term fitness. Fitness means that if you think about it for your physical fitness, Andy, you don't wake up strong and healthy and muscular. You've got to do lots of activities in order to become strong and muscular.
100%. So I take action. I go to the gym. I work out. I get fit.
Absolutely.
Fair.
And what our message is, Andy, is that you can do the same things, including those physical things, that can make yourself mentally fit. And in doing so, over time, with a lot of fine-tuning that routine, introducing some little 1% improvements, and getting a very good routine in with your life, you can make yourself mentally fit. And the important thing, Andy, is that we're not telling people they'll avoid stress and anxiety and challenging times. We're not saying that. We're saying when you do so and you become more mentally fit, you're going to have more confidence and courage to face those difficulties and navigate your way through, and you're going to bounce back a lot faster. So that's a big part of our message, is being able to bounce back fast from those inevitable challenges that in construction just always around the corner.
Well, diamonds are always made under pressure, so it's about how well you can actually manage that stress, isn't it?
Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah, for me, it's all about how do you manage stress. That's the most important thing. It's not about, we're all going to face stress in one way or another in our lives. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, interesting. I do want to dig on a few things that you said.
Yes.
But a little further into the conversation, though.
Yeah.
I made a few mental notes.
Okay. Well, I hope that I'm able to answer them with a lot of with some good.
Nah, mate. Don't worry about it. Just flow. It's a fucking podcast. Like, what can go wrong? Don't worry about it. We're good.
Nice.
Okay. Cool. So okay. So there are a lot of mental wellness organizations out there. Mental well-being organizations out there. What makes you different?
Yeah, certainly. So So again, a bit of focus on that mental fitness message, not talking to crisis, but talking to the strengths-based approach of mental health. That would be the biggest difference. The second thing that makes the program different, Andy, is, while I have a lot of support with some very good experts behind me, I have a professor of health, Professor Grant Schofield, very well known throughout the New Zealand fitness and well-being sector industry. I've got a lot of really good people behind me monitoring the program, guiding the program along. However, we are not, and they are not, the people that are telling, builders and tradies what to do. Our program is tradie-led, Andy. And what tradie-led means is that we're asking tradies, what they do to overcome their own challenges. What are some of the great things they've introduced into their life that helped them navigate challenging times? And so really we're on the hunt and on the continuous search for great stories of courage, great stories of resilience, stories of, what tradies have done in their life, the small things and the big things that are practical and simple and relatable to tradies. And then once we find those individuals, we interview them similar to what we're doing here today, but normally on site. And then we have, I'm on the search of them sharing all their practical ideas. And in doing so, Andy, once we've completed that, we're really hoping to share these messages. And they call that community, I've forgotten the term. It's essentially sharing stories where other tradies could see themselves, people that they can relate to straight away.
It's relatable content.
Correct. And then we're hopeful that in sharing these stories, tradies think to themselves, you know what? I can implement some of these good ideas for myself, and they can learn from each other. Social learning is the term.
I've gone through your Insta page. Yep. So do you only kind of put out content that's relatable that people can learn from? Or do you put the good, the bad, and the ugly out there?
Yeah, certainly.
People, I mean, not many people want to put themselves struggling out there in social media. That's me. Like that's a whole world that you don't want to be seen as, as a person who's struggling or whatnot. Yeah. But is that content you put out?
I think, Andy, people are free to share whatever they choose to.
I like that.
Yeah,
like that.
So like we're not putting anyone. Well, I am, for the interviews, I'm not putting anyone under any pressure to share anything that's quite personal.
Fair enough,
personal
mate.
to them.
Yeah,
however,
fair enough.
If they really want to share that, then we're open for them to do so. Because of course, sometimes people have gone through some very big experiences, and in hindsight, they can share some very insightful solutions, and that's ultimately what we're hoping to achieve, is to share some really good ideas.
Mate, you should get me on your channel. I'll talk about all the fucking challenges I've had in mental health.
Well, I'm going to be giving you a call after this, and let's see if we can organise a meet, and I'll meet you on site because
bro, done.
We'll find a construction site. You can put on a construction helmet and the high vis, and we'll go.
Fuck
go.
Yeah, bro. Stop.
It's not nice and quiet. There's like all this noise of machinery.
Right, funny enough, that's where I feel at home.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, that's
okay. Well, let's talk about that once you're ready, and we'll get along to a site.
Being on a construction site's like ground zero, perfect for me. It's like, Now, that's really cool, mate. So, I guess you're out there with a really clear purpose of actually helping tradies and subbies.
Correct.
Which is incredible. Like, I can't tell you how thankful I am to you for actually going out there and fucking doing God's work.
Yeah, well, look, it's a program. The team that I have, we're all very passionate about it, and that's how it wasn't my work as a program lead for this program. I didn't apply for this job. I was doing it anyway, and then it just caught the attention of the people that have put this program together. So I was really passionate about it. I thought, there needs to be more talk to prevention and helping people with good ideas to really look after themselves. So I think that's what makes our program different, is that the people that are behind it are really passionate. We really want to see people thrive. The construction sector is tough, and we want to give people tools.
The construction sector, we make it tough for ourselves, mate. It's not difficult. We've been building shit since the fucking pyramids. It's not tough.
Yeah, that's
we make it difficult for ourselves.
That's
an opinion, but that's a very strong one at that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Look, I agree with you. So I guess it's really, the program's really about bringing some awareness checking in, assessing how you're going, reflect on, on some of the basics in well-being, and really thinking about where you can make some improvements. So that's a big part, and give people a boost in their psychological health. And the great thing about that, Andy, is you help people get a boost in their psychological health. They're going to make better decisions for themselves. They're going to make better health decisions. They're going to make better business decisions. If you have good clarity and good focus, you're going to make good decisions for your family. You're going to make good decisions for yourself. You're going to, if you're leading a group of people and you're in charge, you're a leader in construction, you're going to be a great leader because, you're feeling good yourself. And if you're feeling good yourself and you've got good clarity, then your business is going to run smooth. And that's what we want to see. We want to see people thriving in the sector, making good decisions because they've put their health and their well-being number one. And if that's number one, mental fitness, and if that's number one, then there's going to be a very positive ripple effect across the people that that are working under them and everyone else. So that's the goal.
So, Raf, with construction pressures rising, got to keep costs down, got to finish on time.
Yes.
All of those pressures rising in the industry, which is becoming, and the number of projects gone into delay. 9 out of 10 projects are in delay and stress levels are high.
Yes.
Do you think the resources available in the market for mental health support keep up with what's actually required for New Zealand?
Yeah, sure thing. Look, I can't speak specifically for each individual company. All I guess I can raise awareness to there are programs that are out there.
Yeah.
And the programs, I can't speak on behalf of other programs, but the program that we have, it's available and it's free. And all the resources that we build around it are readily available.
Hang on. Everything's free?
Correct. So
how are you funding it?
It's a collaboration of ACC and the Mental Health Foundation. So ACC are they're funding the program. And a big part of our content, aside from on-site toolbox talks and workshop presentations, a big part of it's digital resources, including a champion module where we're hoping to train passionate individuals about mental fitness so they can share the message. But everything's readily available. It's online, and people can reach out to me, and then I can come and do a talk with your team. So if resources and everything.
Okay. Let's dial that back a little bit. Say, okay, let's not talk about the wider industry. Let's talk about Live Well, Build Well.
Yeah, sure.
Say I have a construction company.
Yes.
Running a small project, and my team are fully stressed out.
Yes.
Right? Okay.
Yes.
There's time pressures, there's cost pressures.
Yes.
I give Raf a call. What happens next?
Yeah, sure thing. Well, depending where you are, if you're in Auckland, then I'm also based in Auckland.
Yep.
We can organise a time where I'll come out and I'll do a toolbox talk.
Cool.
So a toolbox talk could be a talk that I speak amongst other people that may have a message, maybe a health and safety inspector that's got a bit of feedback for some observations that have been made. And then as part of that talk, I will come in and I'll introduce the Live Well, Build Well program. So my first talk to a construction group is really introducing that concept of mental fitness. And so that's where I'll sort of focus the conversation around. And also I'll make it sort of clear that a lot of the feedback and a lot of the ideas, the practical ideas, are not coming only from experts in the sector, but tradies own a lot of these ideas. And I want to make sure that that's really clear with the tradies when they're listening into the contractors, that they understand that these are not ideas that we have from all these experts, that, hey, we're sharing ideas that people within the sector are telling us. So the first talk is generally in the introduction of what mental fitness is, the introduction of tradies are actually leading this program, and then of course leading people to where they can find all
so
our
you're
resources.
literally a facilitator, as I understand it.
That's the perfect word, a facilitator. That's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you come to, say, Andy's hypothetical construction company.
Yes.
On site.
Yes.
What can I expect? So you run the toolbox.
Yes.
What can I expect in the toolbox out of all my staff going? Which I don't have staff, by the way. But
yes.
I don't have a construction company either. I have a project management company. But say it was a construction company.
Yes.
You do the toolbox.
Yeah.
What outcomes can I expect?
The outcome that I'm looking for, Andy, mostly is to inspire people.
Yeah.
to have an honest conversation with himself, to really listen in and think, how am I going? And more often than not, people don't really question their well-being. If they're feeling really happy, they don't ask themselves, why am I feeling so happy? What am I doing to make myself happy? Which is a critically important thing to ask yourself when you are happy. Why am I happy? Because when you're happy, you think, okay, I'm doing these things. I need to continue doing those things. I want people to think, when they
Well, hang on. Depends on what's the thing that makes you happy then, doesn't it?
Okay.
No,
healthy things.
Yeah,
I'm
there
talking
we
about.
go.
Yeah.
Man, I can down a bottle of vodka and tell you, mate, that makes me extremely happy, right?
Good point.
Yeah.
I mean, like, Andy, what I mean by that is I want, if they're in a social situation where they're amongst all these great people and they're having good fun, and then I want people, if they're in a, doing some activities, being out in nature, whatever it is that they're passionate about, when they're doing it, and then they suddenly find themselves quite happy and they catch themselves and go, geez, I'm having a good day. What am I doing? And thinking, oh, I'm with all these great people. I'm having a really good laugh. Oh, I'm doing all these great activities.
And
then
that
for
shit
them
kicks
to
off
think,
endorphins, right? Okay,
that's
cool.
it.
Okay. Now, let
yeah.
me actually throw a challenge out to you.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So let's say I am a person where I have none of those things that you said, hypothetically. A lot of things you said do relate to me, by the way. But say I'm hypothetically a person that's doesn't want to go on a nice walk, doesn't want to go to the beach, doesn't want to hang out with friends, I have a way of life which is just, I work. I have some not so great habits, but they keep me happy. I wake up and do the same thing the next day. How would you deal with that particular individual?
Yeah, sure thing. I think.
Sorry, I didn't mean to throw in a sticky situation there.
No.
But,
it's an important question. It's an important question
because that's reality.
It's reality.
Yeah,
like people tend to continue on. And they don't really question how they
don't know anything better.
They don't know anything. Yeah, that's right. I guess.
Well, I didn't know anything better till I went and got mental health help. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, I didn't know that there were multiple other possibilities to kick the endorphins in gear.
Yes.
I was so sucked into my work. It was fucking ridiculous. I was just like this. I couldn't see anything apart from that.
Yeah, sure. So I guess the important thing is really reaching out. The most important thing in that case, talking to that person you described, that individual, I think the important thing is being able to sow the seed of them to have self-reflection and to look at themselves in the mirror and to sort of understand that, hey, I'm not in a good place, or I'm not in a place that potentially, I'm in a place that is leading me down a path to being unhappy and not the best person who I could be, because there's so many important things in life outside of just work to have a great life.
Well, if you ask me, everything else apart from work is the most important thing, but that's just me.
Yeah, I understand. It's for most people, Andy. People tend to focus on their business. They tend to focus on their financial responsibilities for their commitments to their family, and you can really get caught in that trap. And the important thing people need to what we're trying to do is sow the seed of thought to get a new idea in their mind is that this is not going to be sustainable. If I continue down this path, I'm going to come to a point where I'm going to burn out, and then everything's going to crumble down. So we're really hoping to inspire people to question themselves and think, how long can I go on this way without making some really positive changes? Because ultimately I run the risk of burning out, becoming ill, and not being able to recover very well from that. So if someone...
Okay, so let's say that person that you're talking to is completely closed off to that message.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
How would you get that message through to me? I don't want to listen to your ref.
Yes.
All right?
Yes.
I don't care. Oh, here's another guy fucking coming and give another fucking toolbox talk.
Yes.
Yeah, great. Okay. Now I've got to spend 20 minutes listening to this dude. I'm just telling you that person's attitude, right? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. How would you get through to that person?
Yeah, sure thing. Well, I guess the important thing is going back to a lot of what's being shared. It's not actually me, telling people what to do.
It's the other people in the room.
It's other tradies. Yeah, that's
okay.
it.
Interesting.
So I think that where we're trying to make
So you're not doing the talk. You're getting other people to actually communicate their stories that would then inspire the people that are closed off.
Yeah, good.
Self-reflect.
Yeah, good question, Andy. I'll explain that a little bit further. So a big part of my presentation, I sort of introduce mental fitness. I talk about strengths-based approach to mental health.
Yeah.
But then part of the actual toolbox talk is I group people up, and I could ask them. I could say to say for example, you're there, you got your workmates around you, and then I'm gonna leave you with a question which you're going to discuss. I say, guys, how do you switch off at the end of the day? What are you doing to switch off so that when you go home and you walk through your front door, you're able to go from a busy work frame of mind to a peaceful at-home frame of mind with the people that are waiting for you that love you the most? How are you going to transition from that busy mind to that family mind? And then I'm going to get you to discuss it with your colleagues. So and then after about 3 or 4 minutes, I'm going to ask for your feedback. So the important thing with the program is that we're getting people to really discuss that with the people that they work with, and then you'll normally find these individuals within a small group that have got some stellar ideas. And then if I can't reach out to you, I'm hoping that someone that you're talking to, someone that works alongside you, has got a great idea. And then such example, the things that tradies, they tell me, when I ask for their feedback are fantastic, and everyone listens in to each other. All the other tradies are quite keen to know what their comrades, what their colleagues, what their mates are doing. So that really is the essence of the program, is not telling tradies, oh, you should do this and you're going to feel better. It's more like, hey guys, let's have a conversation. Let's have some of your feedback. And some of the things are hilarious. Like, we have tradies going, oh, when I finish work, before I go in through the front door, I sit in the car and listen to music for 30 minutes in the driveway. And everyone laughs and they go, well, why do you do that? And they go, I know that if I walk straight in through the door, I'm going to be still thinking about work, so I just have some time out in the car, helps me, process my day, unpack my things. So really a lot of these things that come up, these practical ideas, they're not ideas that I've thought of myself, that I'm sharing. It's really the tradies talking amongst themselves. So if I can't reach out to you, I'm hoping and I'm confident you're going to hear one of your mates speak, and they're going to tell you something that you like.
I'll definitely listen to my mates, mate. Trust me. Okay,
so that's an important part of it. We hear some hilarious things, Andy. We hear, there was one guy that said, when I get home to switch off, I get out of my work and I put on my hunting jacket and my hunting cap with little air flaps, and I put on my hunting pants. And we go, oh my gosh, why do you do that? Oh, because, when I put on my hunting gear, it's a bit of role play. I think I'm off hunting. When I go off hunting, I'm in a really good mood. So then if I do that, I without even knowing it, put myself in a better frame of mind because I'm role playing the process. And then we hear other really good ideas that tradies are sharing amongst themselves, Andy. We hear then we hear this one time and time again. When I get home, the first thing I do is I switch off my phone for 3 or 4 hours. I put it on airplane mode, or I leave it in the car. And in that, because the biggest distraction, Andy, and I'm sure you'll agree, is being distracted by technology. Constantly scrolling your phone, constantly reading each email as they're sent. And in doing that, you never rest and recover. You're always in work.
I fully agree. Yeah, I fully agree. Digital technology in that way.
Yeah.
But because if you think about it, right, back in the day, you had pigeons that actually carried your mail. Let's just take it right back to then, right? So you wrote a letter, a pigeon would carry that letter, and then you still have 2 days to kind of process all of the information, respond back to it, send it back to the pigeon, so it's in a couple of weeks before it gets to the next person,
Yes.
Then we got postman that fast-tracked that process.
Yes.
Then we got, emails came next.
Yes.
Then it was text messages.
Yes.
Now it's Insta messages, how many platforms? WhatsApp, Instagram, fucking name it. They all have a messaging platform. God knows where you're getting message from, and everybody expects a response. Oh my God.
So that takes a toll.
It is.
It takes a toll.
The amount of information you have to process is oh man, it's insane.
That's it.
And
so what?
No, that's good. That's really good advice to turn your phone off as soon as you get home.
So exactly, Andy. So a big part of the program is not us telling people what to do in a toolbox talk. It's like, hey guys, get together, have a conversation. What are you guys doing? How do you switch off? And then some of the ideas are great, and it's really about people that are present, talking amongst their friends that they listen to, and about them sharing some good ideas. And then that tends to be when it comes to switching off, which is one of the most important things to rest and recover. Not bringing your work frame of mind home through your front door. So
what you're telling me, Raf, is you're not just another guy that just does a toolbox talk. Yeah.
No, that's right. I'm hoping that people are able to learn from each other.
100%. And hats off to you for being the facilitator and getting, their workmates sharing knowledge so people can actually learn from their workmates, or enabling those conversations, as I'd like to call it.
Correct.
Yeah. Now, well done, man. Well done.
Social learning, they call it.
Social learning, is that what it's called? Is that the apt term for it?
From learning from each other.
Learning from each other. Yeah. Nah, good on you, bro. Well done. Raf, so it's a well-known fact that most tradies hit the pub straight after work.
Yes.
To unwind.
Yes.
Yeah. And it's also a well-known fact that's probably not the healthiest habit.
Right.
Yeah. What are the long-term effects of doing that?
Yeah, sure thing. Well, I guess everyone has their own relationship when it comes to alcohol, and then I think the important thing, Andy, really, because a big part of what the program promotes is the importance of socializing with your mates. As part of having good mental fitness, we really encourage people to keep their social circles alive and well, because with the surveys that we do annually, there is a trend for tradies and builders letting us know that for some of them, they become quite isolated and quite lonely. And as you could imagine, a lot of mental health issues can arise from isolation and for feeling lonely. So, when I talk to builders and tradies, I'm at these different presentations that I've been describing, and I say, hey, look, guys, what are you doing to ensure that you keep sociable and to keep those very important relationships alive and well? Nothing will beat a lift to your mental fitness than a good laugh with the people that enjoy your company the most. I think we can all agree.
I agree
with that. But the thing is that, a lot of the time the builders go, oh, well, I go to the pub and I have lots of drinks with my mates. And they think that I'm going to be, oh, no, you can't do that. But they're wrong. I would say to that when it comes to drinking and spending time with buddies, watching the football, whatever it is that you do, have a good laugh. I would encourage that. But these I guess the key word really is moderation. Like with anything.
That's the shit. I was literally going to say, don't fucking do that every day.
Moderation, that's it.
Yeah.
And moderation, what is that really when you think about it? It's sort of understanding what your limit is. Understanding, hey, look, I'm going to go out tonight and I may overdo it, but I'll try not to. And in fact, I'm not going to drive. I'm going to leave the car at home. I'm going to Uber. I know that once I get to X amount of drinks, once I pass that, I'm probably not going to be in the best. It's going to probably go from fun to not fun. So I think it,
and hangover the next day morning.
And hangover the next day. And then I tell you, I've recently come back from watching the Panthers play the Melbourne Storm.
Oh yeah.
And then I had lots of opportunities to really go for it, when it comes to, drinking and socializing. But then I thought to myself, man, I'm in Sydney. I really want to wake up and look around.
Fair enough.
And then I'm with these people I don't really know.
You prioritize sightseeing as opposed to
that's right.
drinking.
That's it. So maybe that's something that people can think about. They can think about I'm going to go out. I want a few drinks. I'm going to be with my mates. I really want to have a good laugh. I deserve it. But then I want, maybe people need to think, what do I want to do when I wake up tomorrow though? And if they think, I want to get up, spend time with the kids, go do some work around the house, then hopefully they can challenge themselves to sort of ensure that they have, a bit of discipline to understand that once they get to a certain amount of drinks.
Can I tell you what, Ref?
Yeah.
I believe alcohol is the most dangerous drug out there.
Right.
I don't know. Personal opinion. And the only reason I say that is because of accessibility.
Yes.
It's so easily accessible.
And socially accepted as well, isn't it?
Also, it's socially, as in it's drinking is culture, right? It's
Correct.
part of the culture.
Yes.
So I'm not saying I don't drink. I do. Don't get me wrong. And I enjoy it as well.
Yeah.
Not in copious amounts.
Yes.
Yeah. But I believe it is the worst drug out there.
Yes.
And it does have long-term effects on a person, right?
Yes.
It's like when I had my mental health challenges.
Yes.
That was the easiest thing for me to do.
Sure.
Pick up the bottle every day evening.
Yes.
Because at this point in time, I started the company. I had crazy amount of projects. Money was great. And I know I could solve problems. I struggled to say no to jobs. I'd take any job that came my way because I could actually solve it. Before I knew it, I was working good 16 hours a day, and that was normal for me.
Yes.
So I go straight, pick up the bottle at the end of the day and go, yeah, I'll just have one. Yeah, one.
Yeah.
Cool. One. About 3 vodkas later, I just have one more.
Yeah, I understand.
You know?
Yeah, I understand.
And fuck, breaking that cycle, mate, it was fucking difficult for me, eh?
Yes.
You know, it's because it's so easy to just stick to that cycle. It's just like, and then you wake up the next day morning and you pretend like nothing fucking happened and you're straight back into it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I understand.
Yeah. So it's like a real interesting challenge for me. And then I ran into a really cool mental health coach, Drew Knowles, who worked with me for 6 months.
Wow.
One-on-one. He worked with me for 6 months.
Yes.
And what he taught me was beautiful.
Yes.
He taught me how to slow things down.
Yes.
So I could be more productive.
Right.
That even makes sense.
Yeah. Well, are you able to give me an example of what that looked like for you? Sort of slowing down, that is.
Yeah. Slowing down meant what I had to learn how to do was, the first thing I had to learn how to do was actually start understanding myself as a person.
Yes.
And once I understood kind of myself as a person, like I'm a inventor producer, which means I care about what happens in the future, and I also care about like getting things done. You know, I take action and I think about inventory stuff about the future, the pretty well that could be, you know?
Yes.
So once he really nailed down me as a personality,
yes,
then we started working on kind of me as a person and what was going on in my life and how I could say, and the power of saying no.
Yes.
Yeah. The power of saying no is like, people will respect you more when you actually say no. Did you know that? Because
sure.
I've always been under that assumption that fuck, if I turn this job down, I'll never get that job again.
Oh, I see what you're saying. You mean like no to like work opportunities and everything like that. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So it's like I'd never turn down an opportunity, right?
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
So I'd take on every opportunity. But the power of saying no is incredible. Like I've underestimated the power of saying no.
Yes.
Yeah, turning a job down.
Yes.
Now, one, because it doesn't sit within my value system, or I can't add value, whatever the case may be, right?
Yes.
But it's about how to communicate that.
Right.
And actually take on the work that I am able to do, help strategize and work out my entire workload to slow down, take a step back, calm, composed, you know?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, mate, if I had to go on, I can go on about this for another 20 minutes.
Sure thing. So to understand where you were at prior to meeting the
Drew Knowles, yeah.
So you were taking everything on, saying yes to everyone.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Putting yourself under immense strain.
Yeah.
And then as a way to rest and recover and to sort of break away, you were maybe
I wouldn't say rest and recover. I would say to cope.
To cope. Yeah, you were.
That would be the appropriate language to
Yeah,
use.
sure thing. I've got you. And then so it was once you understood that you needed to set some good, healthy boundaries for yourself.
I knew I was heading for chronic illness.
Yes.
If I carried on that way.
Yes.
That's probably why I brought this question up today as well, you know?
Yeah, sure thing.
Just to understand from your perspective, because I was certain I was heading down for some sort of chronic illness, you know?
Yeah.
All you have to do is listen to your body, and your body tells you you're heading for some chronic illness, you know?
I think the most important thing from what you've just described, Andy, is really that you had some self-awareness that came about from understanding that you weren't going to that path wasn't sustainable. I think that's the most important thing, really, to make any positive change is it can't happen until you're aware of it, and that's where.
But that sends the question back to you, right?
Yes.
The people who do not want to be aware, who are happy in their current state of being, how do you create awareness for them?
Yeah, sure thing. Look, Andy, I'll be on I'm not an expert in this area, but there's something that I have been told by people that are very specialized in this area, is that you can't help people that are not open to being helped. You know, that you can't force someone, you know, in this example, you can't force someone not to drink. They've got to continue to drink until they have their own.
Don't get me wrong, I still drink.
Yeah, or over drink, or maybe drink in excess. You can't really tell someone to stop doing that. You know, the thing about, you know, when it comes to positive change is that you need to have your own assessment of yourself. One of the things that really does need to occur for anyone to make positive change for themselves, so have an epiphany, if I've said that correctly.
Yeah, mate.
And that's a sudden realization.
Bang on. Because I had an epiphany as well.
Epiphany, yeah, that's
when I engaged Drew. It was I had an epiphany, and I said, "Fuck, something's not right here," you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, outside of that, people can only really offer support, to help people, provide good, awareness to different programs that are available. There's lots of, from my understanding, I don't work in the space, but I do understand that there's retreats and all this support that comes around for people that, have some substance areas in their life, I guess, in the lack of a better word, substance abuse, maybe.
Substance abuse, yeah.
Like there can be, people that can direct people to where they come, where they can find help. But ultimately, people need to have that sudden realization, hey, this is not going to be sustainable. In fact, I risk losing everything. So they need to have that feeling in order to motivate themselves to look for healthier ways to get through.
So, Raf, what's some of the most surprising tips that you've heard from the front line, from the tradies, on mental well-being or mental fitness? Sorry,
mental fitness.
Sorry,
yeah, sure thing.
No, I'll say mental fitness, not mental well-being.
Yeah, look, absolutely. Thanks. That's a good question, Andy. So, Andy, I've been delivering workshops across the country with ITM at their LPB training events across the country, Wellington, Palmerston North, Hamilton, Auckland, Christchurch, and this is where we have the opportunity to talk with builders and share our message and also listening to what they're doing. And we've been running this program called 5S.
5S. So 5 S's here.
Yeah, 5 S's. 5 words that begin with S. So start, sleep.
Yeah.
Start, which means starting your day with a plan. Man, what's your plan for the day? Be very conscious and have good intentions. Clear your clutter by knowing exactly what you need to achieve by the end of the day. Sustain, all about sustaining energy, eating well, taking your breaks, keeping good hydration. Stopping. So stopping's going back to what we were discussing earlier about being able to switch off. How do you sort of, go from being very busy, a 10-hour day, 11-hour day, and then walking through your front door, being able to relax when you get inside and be present for the people that love you the most. And the last one, of course, is the one that we touched on also, socialize. So what we're looking at, the 5S, 5 words beginning with S, to make it simple, it's the fundamentals of where mental fitness can begin. And then so we have good conversations with the builders, and they tell us, the tradies, they tell us what they're doing. And then some of the things that they tell us are amusing, and they're fun, and they work, and they're practical. So like one such example would be where a builder would say, when we talk about sleep, we go, look, how are you getting your 7 to 8 hours quality sleep, which really re-energizes you? And it's necessary. It's 100% necessary in order to function at a high level and be able to take your day on with good confidence and clarity. And we have like one builder, you'll put up his hand, he goes, oh, well, look, Raf, I put my my cell phone in the kitchen. And so I say, well, why do you put your cell phone in the kitchen? He goes, because one of the biggest problems I have with sleep is when the alarm goes off each morning, I hit the snooze button. And I do that 2 or 3 times. And then so I end up waking half an hour late and then racing. And then once I start racing, I set myself up for a terrible day. So I started putting my phone in the kitchen, which meant when I could hear the alarms, I can hear the alarm well, I've actually got to get out of bed and walk and go get the phone. And then once I'm up, I'm not going to be lying back down again. That's it, I'm up. And he said, I've been doing that for years. And now, I've got a really good get up habit, which helps me with my sleep habit, because one of the areas with sleep where he was struggling, this particular builder, was in continuously hitting that snooze button, which really didn't set him up for a good day. So that was, one thing that came up.
That's a good practical example.
Yeah, a good practical example. With food, I guess with food, the things that a lot of builders tell us is, man, wake up half an hour earlier. If you've got to get up, say, or 20 minutes earlier, if you think about your lunch, your nutrition, if you think about waking up 20 minutes earlier, you have the ability to make yourself a good breakfast.
To meal prep, yeah.
Sit down, eat your breakfast. Don't eat it in the van or in your ute. Sit down, have a good breakfast, and make yourself a good lunch. Make yourself get in the habit of waking up a little bit earlier and preparing your meals. And then as you know, Andy, we're not telling, tradies not to eat pies and drink Monsters and V's. What we're saying is, hey, from time to time, sustain yourself well. And this idea that someone had, that in having 15 to 20 minutes each morning that they allow themselves for, they can actually plan their meals a little bit better. And then be prepared for good nutrition and good hydration throughout the day. Such an important thing to sustain your energy. Now that that switch off when it comes to stop, that's been the ability of being able to switch off. We've had some hilarious things that people do. So,
tell us a few
I guess the funniest one was, I think I've already mentioned, was the guy sort of wearing his hunting gear. And then we said, well, the family must love you for this, that you put on your hunting gear, you're feeling relaxed, and you feel rested and you're present. And then he goes, oh no, the family hate it. We're like, well, why do they hate it? And they go, oh, they like the person that I am and that I'm calm, but they don't like the suit. And they go, and I asked them, I said, well, why don't they like it? Does it look weird? He goes, oh, no. It stinks. And I said, well, why does it stink? And he goes, oh, you don't wash your hunting gear. You never wash it. Because that, the whole idea of wearing hunting gear is that it always has a certain scent that attracts the game. And then so, he made everyone laugh. That was great, that whole idea on role play, that's what he did with himself. So I'm trying to think of other funny things that people say. Really, it's a lot of the feedback that we get are just simple daily things. The whole idea about not racing into the house when you get home, just listening to some music for a while. The other good thing is that for a lot of people in construction, they travel quite a bit from site to site.
Oh yeah,
it's huge. What are you doing while you're driving along? What are you listening to? And tradies, a lot of the time they're listening to podcasts. They're listening to
inspirational. Bro.
That's right. They're listening to inspirational things, and that's very intriguing. Because in my opinion, Andy, one of the things that you can do starting from today, one of the things that can help you make some good decisions and get yourself on that path of good mental fitness is self-education.
100%.
Learning for you, learning some good things.
Every day morning when I wake up, you know what I do?
Yeah.
I go straight when I'm brushing my teeth.
Yes.
I literally tell myself I am ready to fucking conquer this world.
That's it.
I am ready for war.
Yes.
Let's go.
Let's go.
That's literally what I tell myself every day when I brush my teeth.
Beautiful.
That just sets me up. Like I get chicken skin saying that.
Yeah.
Bro, every day morning, I say that over and over again till I finish brushing my teeth, look at myself straight in the mirror, dead in the eye, say that over and over again. Yeah. That sets me up for fucking success the whole day, bro.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then over time, that's just going to sink in, isn't it, to your subconscious, and it's going to be, well ingrained in your mentality.
I am the fucking man for the job. I am ready for war. It's like so simple for me.
Andy, the great thing about that, and the thing that, really helps people a lot is, if they can't find that inner voice to give them that motivation or that inspiration, is that, when they do have downtime driving from site to site, is that they're able to listen into someone that they find online, on YouTube, or maybe on Spotify, some person, maybe someone very similar to the person that's sitting in front of me today, looking very well groomed with the very nice sweater and shirt that they can listen to, and someone that's going to inspire them. And once they find that person that's like a mentor for them, then a big encouragement, something I really encourage people to do, and when they have this downtime driving, find a mentor and listen to them.
Yeah, so listen to Raf, everybody. Yards Dandy, follow me on Spotify.
Find a mentor, because you can be of any age.
Yeah,
like you think, man, I'm too old for a mentor. It's not true.
You're not.
You can always find a mentor.
Nobody is.
And once you find, I found a mentor and someone that really helped me. And this sort of led me down the path of like working in the prevention space. And then that was a lot of what you're describing about positive self-talk.
Yeah.
Someone that sort of is a bit advocate for that, and that whatever you continue repetitively repeat in your mind, it sinks to your
Subconscious mind,
subconscious
right?
mind,
Yeah,
and that's where you're.
And that becomes reality
becomes
that's
reality.
because that's the
That's
energy
it.
you're putting out to the
That's
universe,
right.
you know.
Yeah.
But anyways, bro, this has been incredible. This has been absolutely awesome. And some things that I love that you're doing
Yes.
is that, you know, you're not going out to just toolbox talks and telling people what to do.
That's
you're
it.
creating a platform for people to share, and you're getting their mates to communicate to them
Correct.
about how they can be better and what are the certain things that they're doing that's helping them in life
That's right.
that other people can adopt. And
That's it.
I think what you're doing is a beautiful thing, brother. Like,
Yes, you used the great word catalyst. We're a catalyst for change. You know, we all the wisdom's out there, and we just want to connect it with people that are open to listening.
Absolutely, 100%. So on that note, I understand everything you're doing is free. And if anybody listening to this podcast wants help, how do they get hold of you?
Yes, certainly. So if you go to our website, www.livewellbuildwell.com, and go through to the
Link below.
The link below.
Yeah, there we
go. You'll be able to see my contact details there. You can contact me directly and the program. And then please, follow along. Listen to these great stories that these tremendous individuals are sharing. You can find that on Instagram and Facebook and YouTube, and you just search under Live Well, Build Well. And just to let people know, if you want to participate, if you want to be a champion and share our message, get in touch. We'd love your participation. If you've got a great story, reach out. I'll come with my new camera crew. The guys here today. No, I'm only joking. I'll come to site.
Don't fucking steal my camera guy. He's my camera guy.
I'll come on site. No, I want to hear your story. Your story can go on to help hundreds of people, thousands, millions of people. In the sector, share your story. I'm very keen to understand what you're doing to be your best self. And before we go, Andy, I've got a question for you. Mate.
You do?
Yes.
Go on, bro.
Yeah.
Go on.
Andy, I'd like to ask you what it is that you do when you come home and you've had a big day. From what you're describing, it sounds like you've been pulled in every direction. I want to ask you, what do you do, Andy, to switch off so that you go from a very busy thinking work mind to a more relaxed, at home mind? What do you do for yourself, mate?
I breathe.
You breathe.
Yeah.
Do you have a certain method of breathing?
Yeah, I believe breathing techniques have been out there for years, and I got taught it as a kid when, back in school we had to learn yoga because I'm originally from India.
Great.
And I thought it was a fucking joke back then, but I realize the benefits now.
Yeah.
Do
you would you be happy to demonstrate one technique?
Yeah. So I don't know if everybody knows this. Like, you put your finger in your nostril, you blow out. You only blow air through one nostril.
Yeah, I feel it from that one there.
Yep. Switches every 8 hours. Did you know that?
Oh, really?
That's how your body maintains balance.
I would have never known that.
Yep.
Yeah.
So early in the morning, you actually figure out which is your dominant nostril.
Yes.
You breathe in for 4 seconds. Hold for 4. And release through the other nostril for 4 seconds. Now you alternate. Breathe in through this for 4 seconds. Hold for 4. Release through the other nostril for 4 seconds.
Fantastic.
So what that does is it completely regulates your heart rate, calms you down completely, because you're then bringing balance to your body.
Yeah, nice.
I got taught this as a kid. This is not something so I breathe, but I use it to go to sleep as well.
Beautiful.
So you switch that round instead of going 4-4-4, which I think they call block breathing.
Yes.
Yoga calls it something else, but anyways, that's the technique.
Yes.
But if you want to go to sleep, you go 4-5-6. You breathe in for 4, you hold for 5, and you release for 6.
Nice.
So what happens then is you slow your heart rate down.
Yes.
And then automatically go to sleep.
Nice. It's like a reset.
Yeah. So it's like, bro, when I'm like having anxiety, when I'm like, when I feel like I'm just overwhelmed, I'm fucking annoyed, pissed off, whatever, whatever. It's like, I'm not feeling normal.
Yes.
I just take a couple of minutes just to go, I don't care where I am. It's just, I don't need to keep doing that action, Now I've kind of trained myself to just send it through that nostril, send it through the other, just regulate my breathing. Feet on the ground. Feel things around me. It's a beautiful thing. It helps me slow down. It helps me calm down. It helps me see more than I normally would. So that's what I do.
I love that, Andy. That's something that I'm going to give a go. Well, I do, that breathing, it's almost like a little micro version of meditation, isn't it? Bringing some calmness and focusing on the breath.
Yeah.
What a great
but
thing that
it's,
is.
but it's just taking out, the guy who sits down and listens to music for 30 minutes,
Yeah.
So that's similar for me. It's just me just saying, yep, I need to breathe. And the most important thing when you're breathing is not to think about anything else. You know what I mean? Just let everything go. Just fuck it. Just fuck everything.
Nice.
Just fuck it all. Like, doesn't matter. Like, it could be anything happening around you. It just doesn't matter. Just breathe.
That's a beautiful bit of advice.
And
I'd like to explore that further when we do the Live Well, Build Well interview with Andy. We're going to explore that.
Coming up shortly.
I'm going to come on site and you're going to be able to demonstrate that on a busy construction site.
100%, bro.
Yeah.
Not with my camera crew, though. Your camera crew. Hey, leave my guys alone.
Look, Andy, just to let you know,
right.
when I was at the LPB, the ITM LPP training days, like people think, builders, they're not going to be open to meditation and breathing and all these things. We had people demonstrating yoga poses.
Oh, yeah.
We had people that would come up as part of our workshop and they'll demonstrate, breathing techniques. There's a lot more people in the sector doing a lot more things than people may be aware of. And then so I think the beauty of this is that we're going to find out who they are and we're going to share all their magnificent ways in which can lead to some fantastic health benefits. So that's the goal, to share all the great things that people are doing. So thank you very much for sharing that with me.
Good on you. Thank you so much for making the time for being here. I really do appreciate it, mate. And I wish you all the best with Live Well, Build Well and all the amazing work you're doing out there.
I really appreciate that, Andy. Thank you so much for inviting me. I'll say it again, what a pleasant surprise when someone contacted me through your office and go, Andy does a show called Talks with Andy. Would you like to participate?
Yarns with Andy, bro. Get it right. Yarns with Andy.
Oh, Yarns with Andy. Yeah, that's right. That's right. And I was like, 100%. Yeah, sure. Yeah. And I went in and I had a look at your thing. I said, wow, this guy's, seen what we're doing. And he would like, so thank you so much with that. Yarns with Andy. Really appreciate this opportunity.
Bro. Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah.
Cool.